So hi, in this video, I'm going to discuss a problem of late code daily question. So this is the problem, hand of spades. In the problem, Alice has some number of cards and she want to rearrange the cards into groups so that each group size and consist of group size consecutive cards. Okay, so what is given in the problem statement that we have some number of cards and we want to rearrange them into groups of group size. Also, one more condition that every element should be consecutive in the group. So basically, what does it exactly mean? Every next element should be one greater than the previous. So this is the condition. The input format is something like we have given an integer array hand, where hand is the value written on the ith card, and an integer of group size. We need to return true if we are able to rearrange it into the group size basically. Okay? If we are able to rearrange all the elements of the array into group size, else we need to return the false. If you see this test case, uh, how many groups I can create first of all? I need to create the group of size 3, and every element should be one greater than the previous one. Okay, so 1 2 3, it can be my first group. Now 2 3 4, it can be my second group. Now 6 7 8, this is my third group. I am able to like rearrange all the cards in group size of 3. Means in that case my answer would be what? True. Similarly here, I have chosen the 1 2 3 4 of group size 4, but 5 is remaining unselected, so I will return here false. So this is the problem statement. It was simple to understand, but how I will approach this problem. Uh, so so let's go to there. Okay, so approach of the problem will become simple if you know the concept of sieves. If you have studied in number theory, you have studied about the concept of sieves. If you haven't studied, don't worry, I'll explain it here, and we'll tell you how it is related to this question. What does sieve? What does this method exactly do? Okay. Suppose I want to print all the prime numbers between 1 to 10, yeah, 1 to 100, yeah, 1 raised to power 7, 10 raised to power 7. Okay. I want to print all the prime numbers between them. How can I print them? First, with the first simple brute force approach would be what? Simple run a loop from 0 to till I want to print and check if it is a prime or not. If it is a prime, then print else skip it. So this is the brute force approach, but we cannot do that because in that case the complexity would be higher. Why? First we are running a loop from 0 to n. In that case the complexity would be n plus we were checking for each element that it is a prime or not. So the extra complexity will be added to check if it is a prime or not. So it will be like the time complexity for this would be what? Higher. So I am not going to do this. So I will use here a simple method, that is sieve. What does it do? Suppose I want to print all the prime numbers from 1 to 10. Suppose this is the question. Okay. Now how can I print? First of all, I will create a array from 0 to 10. I've taken here 11. You can simply remove this. Okay. Suppose I want to print all the elements all the prime number from 0 to 10. How can I print that? First of all, what I will do is I will declare a array of size how much? N plus 1. N is equal to what? 10. So I will declare a array ARR of size N plus 1. Okay, where zeroth index will return that if zero is prime number or not, where one index will return if one is prime number or not, two index will return if two is prime number or not. So this is what it will return, right? Okay, suppose first of all I will initialize 0 and 1 as non-prime because I know these are the non-primes. Now from 2 to n, I will suppose that everyone is prime. Okay, now I'll check 2. I know that 2 is prime, right? Now all the multiple of 2 will not be prime. I know that. So I will change its value to 0. All the multiple of 2 will convert it to what? 0. Means they cannot be my prime. 2 is a prime, okay? Now I know that 3 is a prime. Now all the multiple of 3 will convert it to what? 0. So 6 is already 0. Now I will convert 9 as well 0. Similarly, 5, and all the multiple of 5 will convert it to 0. Or at the end, I can check if the element is still 1 after performing all this operation, it is still 1. Then in that case, I am sure that it is a prime number. Okay. So the similar concept I am going to apply in this problem as well. So how I am going to do that? First of all, what I'll do, I will simply sort the array. Okay. To make it a bit simpler for me. Okay. 1 2 2 3 3, and then 4 6 7 8. 1 2 2 3 3 4 6 7. So yeah, I've simply sorted it out. Now, how I'll approach it. Now look, I want the group size of 3. All right. How can I make? First, I can choose one. I've chosen one. Okay. Now, just one greater than one, what? It comes out to be 2. So I have selected 2. Now I will change the value of 2 to -1 because I don't wanna check again. I don't want to include it any group after this, right? Suppose the group formed was something like, I started from 1, I have inserted 1 in my group, right? Now I went to 2 because it is satisfying the condition because it is just greater than the previous one. So now I will change it to -1 in the array, and I will insert it here. Okay. So it is basically my answer to show you that the group is actually formed. I'm creating this basically. Now, just greater than 2, what is 3? So this element. So I will now change it to -1, and this is my first group is completed, right? And now my transformed array looks something like -1 -1 2 -1 3 4 6 7 8. Now the transformed array looks something like this. I will change it to -1 as well because I have already iterated to it. Okay. Now I will start from here because it is not -1. Okay. So I will insert it here. Now I'll find the first element for my array, right? Now I will find in this category that which is the element just greater than the 2, that is 3. Now I'll have 3 here and change its value to what? -1. Now I'll try to find the just greater than 3. Next element that is just greater than 3, that is 4. Now I'll have 4 here and change its value to -1. Now the next time it will become what? It will become -1, -1, 2, -1, -1, -1, 6, 7, 8. Now I will change 2 as well because the group is completed. Okay. Now I have -1 till here. Till here I have made the all the groups, right? Now it's time for the last group. Suppose I have selected 6. It was my first element. Now the element that is just greater than the first is what? 7. So I will insert 7 here and change its value to -1. Now I'll find the next element that is just greater than 7, that is 8. uh, how it will go, what is happening. Okay. So I will select next element that is just greater than 7. That is what? 8. So I'll have 8 here and change it to -1. Now once the array is completed, I will change it to back -1. Okay. Now you can see here all the elements are converted to what? -1. And at last I will iterate the whole array and check if all the elements are converted to -1. Then in that case I need to return true, else I need to return false. As simple as that. This was the simple approach for this problem. Okay, to make it more clear, let me explain the another example that was 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so let's take this example. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so the group size is what? Group size is 4 in this case. So I will create, first of all, let's have something like this. Okay. First of all, I will insert 1 into it, like I've inserted. Now I will try to find the next element that is just greater than 1, which is what? 2. I found 2. Now I change the value of 2 to what? -1. Now I'll try to find the next element that is just greater than 2, that is 3. I will insert 3 here. Now I change it to minus 1. I will try to find the next element that is just greater than 3, that is 4. I'll insert it here and change its value to minus 1. Now the group of size 4 is completed successfully. Now I'll change this to minus 1. Here the 5 is remaining. Okay. So I have created the group of size 5 as well. I've inserted 5. But as you can see here, there are no more element left. So in that case, I'm never gonna make it minus 1. Okay. Because this size haven't even completed yet. So in that case, my final array would look something like minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, 5. And I'll iterate and check if a single element is found that is not equal to minus 1. In that case, I need to return false. So in that case, I found 5. So I'm gonna return what? False in that case. Okay, so this is the simple approach for the problem. I hope it is clear to you. So let's move on to the code of the problem. So what I am doing is, the first simple thing is simply sort the given array, whatever it's again. Simply sort it out. Now the second approach, now the second what we need to do is we need to iterate from 0 to hand. So let's take the example to explain the code more clearly here, that what I am doing line by line. Okay, take it more complex. 3 3 2 and 1 2 3, and I'll make it something like this. Okay, let's say group size of 3. Okay, so first of all, first line I'm doing what? I'm simply sorting it out. So the sorted, now it will become something like this. Now I have my array something like this. Now in the next line I'm doing what? I'm iterating from 0 to hand dot size, right? I'm iterating from the whole loop, whole vector, whole array, whatever you say. Okay, if hand of I is not equal to minus 1, so I am iterating from 0 to till then. Is it equal, is it equal to minus 1? No. So I will do what? I will, I'm creating a variable select. Whatever your choice, you want to select, you wanna create variable or go and so you do whatever you want. Okay. I've created variable select. And in the select, what I'm storing 1 plus 1 means current element value plus 1, because I want to search the this value in the next, from j equal to I plus 1 to hand dot size. I want to search this value, that is I want to search 2 in the next, from j to last तक, ठीक है. So I am creating a select value, ठीक है. Now the value of select is what? 2. It become 2 means I want to search 2. So I will run a loop from j equal to I to handle size. You can choose j plus 1, and I have initialized count basically. Basically, it will tell me that how many element I got for the group size. Okay. Initially, I got one element. That is what? That is hand of I itself. Initially, I got that, right. Now I am iterating from I plus 1 to hand dot size. If I found the select element in that array, I will simply change that value to minus 1. Means I found 2. I will change its value to what? Minus 1. Then I'll increase the value of what? Select. Now the select value will change to what? 3. And similarly, I found the second element for my array. So in that case, I have increased the value of it what? To 2. Okay. Now I'll search for 3. As I found the 3, now I will change the value of 3 to what? Minus 1 in the array. I did minus 1. Now I will increase the value of count to what? 3. Means I found the, I want to create the, rearrange into the group size, right? Group size what? 3. Now I found this equal to, means int is equal to what? Group size. In that case, I can simply make the first element of the group size what? Minus 1. I have made the first element as well minus 1. And then I will simply break the first loop and will keeps on continuing until I iterate the whole loop and make whole vector like minus 1. Okay, if I was able to make the whole array as minus 1, in that case it would be true. If a single element remain uh, greater than or equal to 0, so in that case I'm gonna return true, else I'm gonna return false. Sorry, in that case I'm gonna return false, else it will be true. So in that, so what I am exactly trying to do, I am trying to make minus 1 all the elements in the vector basically. And at last, if I found this culprit, then I'll return false. Else, I have no option. I'll return simply true. So hope so it is clear to you. If you have any doubts, you can simply comment and ask me. Okay, so I have written the same code here. Okay, let me show you after submitting it out. So yeah, it got accepted. Okay.